wasn't for your wellies, where would you be? This country would grind to a halt and no a thing would grow if it wasn't for the workers in their wellies. Wellies, they're wonderful, oh wellies, they're swell. If it wasn't for your wellies.
The activity on our new shed build steps up. Joe upgrades the quad, or at least tries to. Feelings are still running low after the TB test and a little bit high after the tractor purchase. A big push on fencing continues to get the calves out. We begin where we left off with our TB test on Friday. We had 2 cows go down in the test for TB.
Fionn, Sive, Oscar, myself, Jim DeVitt. We have to put honey in them through the crush again and put on fly repellent, give them a lungworm dose, and we're going to run them across the scales as well, see where they're going, and they're going back up the grass. Okay, so we're back in the crush just before lunch on Friday. We're here with the second batch of our maiden in-calf heifers. Honey and Blue were down at the end, so we're running them across the scales, and then fly repellent, spot on order that we had with the cows, the same stuff, spot on order we had with the cows, and then Epris, see that? It's just for lungworms because there's a good few of them coughing. It's a little bit damp.
We're doing all that with the dehorn honey because we probably won't have a lot of time to do it.
Yeah, we're going to, so we've the horn warming up over there, so we're going to do that. It's a little bit damp, it's not ideal for the spot on, but the only showers started passing, so it's going to be a couple of weeks before we have them in the crush again, so we're doing it now. 244, alright, that's her pour on, good luck.
It's only 68.
So she gets the pour on then, and she's injected then based on her weight. Out she goes. Next up.
Honey Blue in the contraption. So yeah,
It's okay, Mama.
gotta be dehorning him. Yeah.
Blue, where's your horns?
We're not doing anything to him, don't worry.
He just covers.
Giving fresh sheets to the calves still on the feeder. The weaned ones got theirs over there. I had to pause for a few minutes, careful there, Kathy, and go and talk to Philip Boucher-Hayes on Liveline. Look, at the end of the day, I think it all comes down to education. Like, Owen wouldn't argue that. And that can be done positively to reduce traffic accidents, road deaths, farm vehicle incidents, etc. is a positive. So the RSA needs to bring everyone with them. It's a real carrot and stick situation. So do we come out with the big stick and start slapping tests on everybody left, right and centre? Or do we incentivise it, bring the carrot in and say, look lads, we're doing our best, we're going to help you with this. Silage and hay to be saved, there's people to feed. RSA has all these ideas, but the Department of Agriculture should be leading this. As soon as RSA came out with that, the department should have rode in behind them 1,000% and said, that's a good idea. Let's get all the shareholders around the table, the Contractors Association, the IFA, Teagasc, whoever else, even the Department of Education, get everyone to sit down and thrash out a plan, get it funded and get it in place. Like our young lad, our eldest lad is 16 now, he's just done transition year. For us, like, we're very much an education house. If there was a course to send him on at the moment, he'd be gone to do it, about learning more, like he's only bouncing around in our tractor to get more experience and more exposure, probably is a better word, on bigger machinery and heavier weights and stuff behind him. We jump at the chance to that. Okay. But he had a whole year in transition year in school, a week somewhere in one of the agricultural colleges would have been fantastic. I'd say to be a queue out the gate for young people to do that and get experience across a range of implements and tractors. And of course, these yahoos have taken full advantage. Look at them, all about the height. You have to hurt yourself there now, lad, kicking the gate. Come on, get down. Okay, Friday evening. The team is back on site. Fiona's just getting the cows into the collecting yard there. He's going to milk them. Then, according as they're milked, they're going to come down the crush the wrong way, in here onto the weighing platform. We're going to record their weight, and then we're going to jab them with the same as what we jabbed the heifers with earlier on there, that Epris, every way you pronounce it. Throw it up here, Sivy. Well done. So it's based on their weight. It's 1 milliliter per 100 kilograms of weight, and it'll treat lungworms and keep everyone right. So hopefully that'll stop the coughing. It's a little bit wet. Hopefully the rain's going to pass off. So the plan is Oscar and Myrna are going to keep the cows feeding into the crush, Sive is going to be on the app recording the weights, and as soon as we have a weight, we'll jab, and then we'll probably rotate the rows as we go. So Myrna and Fiona are milking Dewey. Myrna's going to be teat spraying and keeping the cows pushed out through the drafting gate, and also giving Fiona the heads up on when we're finished out on the outside. So teamwork, making the dream work. Youngest and oldest.
You know when they kick
Oh yeah.
back up? Because he was like that and then he went like that and it almost hit me like that.
Well done.
My sweetheart.
Very Myrna, safe. Alright, that was a super evening's work. When you work hard and you come home in the van with Daddy, you get treats. Boys aren't being left out. Sean got a pay increase today, pay rise. Oscar's been well looked after. Mommy's the only one that's been left out, isn't it? She's home busy editing. We'll get her a treat later on. Morning everybody, it's Saturday morning, the 5th of July. It's 7:30, cows in the yard going milking. Was up on time this morning, but was super tired, mentally very tired, unmotivated. To come out, so I sat on the couch drinking coffee, sending Instagram reels to Ellen. So kicked myself in the backside when I realised that I'm going to be late later on. Now Fiona's meant to be coming fencing at 9:30. I meant to have had the cows milked and breakfast had and ready to go with him. So I don't want him giving out to me. So I hope we go out and we're going. Status on farm. We are restricted with TB as of 11:30 yesterday. So our 2 cows that have gone down are drafted out and isolated and will be kept isolated until they are collected and brought off to the factory to be culled. We'll milk them once a day in the morning time. The shed going on a bit of hay, they'll have water, their milk will be dumped. They're the regulations from the Department of Agriculture. As always, 2 good cows. I haven't checked the milk recording pregnancy test to see if they're in calf or not. I'd just rather not know. I'll check it sometime today maybe. Haven't had a minute to do it yet. I'd rather not know, so I don't want to disappoint myself anymore. Yeah, look, we are where we are now, considering the amount of TB that is around us, the devastating impact it's had on some of our neighbours, members of our discussion group that have been totally had their herds totally depopulated, that have lost huge numbers of cows over an extended period, being restricted with TB. We are not in a bad situation. I would reserve judgment on how bad I think it could get, depending on how our cows go when they go to the factory. If they have no lesions, which is a TB lesion in their muscle when they're killed, it would only be a skin reaction that they had to the test, and you'd be very positive that there won't be a whole lot more of it in the herd. But if they do have lesions or they are rotten with TB, as the term that farmers use, we'd be very concerned then that there would be an awful lot more of it in the herd, and we're only at the start. Taking a positive view on that, and I'm expecting it to be just a skin reaction and that we will not be in a bad position. So, as loads of people say, and I say it myself, it's outside the door. Ellen and the kids, my mum and dad and everyone else, the extended family, are all in very good health, and as long as it stays outside the door, we'll be happy about. We can muddle along. It changes plans. Well, it doesn't really change plans that much. We had beef calves. It's an ongoing conversation between myself and Ellen. I would have been very keen on selling them now because the price is very, very good for wean calves. Ellen was very keen on holding on to them till they're closer to a year old and increasing their value that way. We're holding on to them now, so we have to. We can't sell them until we've got 2 clear TB tests. So that's a silver lining for Ellen, I suppose. Yeah, so we have plans afoot about what to do with them. The bulls more than likely will be kept in. We spoke to our Queen's rep yesterday about getting a ration for them to go with either hay or silage that would feed them when they're in. We saw on Tobin Farms video that's something that they're doing. They're in a similar situation to ourselves, so we're exploring that. Like I said, the fencing is going ahead today, so we'll get the dairy heifers, possibly the beef heifers as well, out now. If not this afternoon, maybe in the next couple of days. Get them out, take the pressure off the shed and get grass into their diet, and we'll push them on. Yeah, that's it really. Just obviously people are tired today because we had a very long day yesterday with TB tests in the morning, and then we dosed all the cows or injected them all, weighed them and injected them all for lungworm yesterday, myself and the kids, so everyone's goosed. So we're going to get these cows milked now, keep the chin up, as they say, and I encourage everyone else to do. I'll vent about it to anyone that listens to me. Went up football for a few minutes afterwards last night and gave out a bit. Yeah, that helps, just get it all out, get it all out. We'll drive it on, have a good day.
Yesterday, all my troubles seem so far away. Suddenly, I'm not half the man I used to be. There's a shadow hanging over me, though it looks as though they're here to stay.
Fionn giving the old post driver a go. Nice and steady, another one, Fionn. Stay on. Yeah. Alright, up and out now. Lift your arms up. Good stuff.
Out on the farm life here. It's lunchtime on Saturday. Came down to see the progress on the fencing that I'm bullying them into doing. I was googling this morning the price of a new post driver. Holy God, 3, 4, 5, 6,000. But what I did see was, you know, the petrol powered ones, which would be handy for down at the river where the tractor can't go, and they range from anything from 400 up to 1,200, or there's a really expensive Honda one, it's like 3 grand. Obviously you won't be buying that one. Fionn's getting a good apprenticeship on fencing, and because Fionn has researched and watched so many videos and stuff, he's teaching the main farmer loads of new tricks. I spent €30 on a packet of these ripple things for joining wires together. So you don't really exactly have to know how to do fancy knots like I learned at Chuggis. Because I bought them, we probably won't use them. And I can guarantee you Joe does not know how to do any fancy knots. That's the thing with doing an agricultural degree. On animal science, there wasn't a lot of practical stuff like there is in the, which, well, I was told is in the main green cert, welding and fencing.
That's all our posts.
Oh, really? Explain to me this square of posts.
It's a box strainer, so when the sheep wire is on it,
Yeah.
it'll be pulling. So that's a strainer post, so the sheep wire is going to be wrapping around this. This is the end of the sheep wire.
Yeah.
So when we pull the sheep wire real tight, the sheep wire will be pulling the strainer post in. So these 2 poles here and the wire here to stop the strainer post from being pulled in over time.
Where did you learn that from? Because I know you did not learn that from the gaff farmer. Where'd you learn that?
YouTube.
YouTube.
We're showing our worst one. Our battery drill ran out of power to drive the yoke in. Plus that stake is...
Oh, I didn't even notice. Oh yeah, Scarlet. Sorry.
All the other ones are good.
All the other ones
Show me the other ones.
3 over there.
All the other ones
Let's
are
go over
perfect.
and look at
well,
the
they're
good
the
one
first 2. Maybe down into the corner.
Oh, for God's
down the
sake.
very far end. We started off bad, got brilliant, and then got tired.
Bad, brilliant, tired.
Right, lunch. You going to Quinn's now?
No, should they close for lunch?
Yeah. I was asking in case you
I
forgot.
came to... I'm the manager. The farmer came to do the inspection. Keep on your toes.
Sure, go and inspect so and tell us what to do.
Well, I'm just so happy that you're doing it.
Have you been bitten yet?
No. Have you? Oh my god.
You'll be back, there's probably just right between 4 of them that could be killed.
When you get good at it, it's not a bad job at all, is it?
When you get good at it, yeah, I know. I just had to bully Dad for 10 years into doing it. I think it's the fact that he has you to do it with him.
Totally the fact that you have me to do it with him.
No, that you, Joe, that you have Fionn.
That's what I said,
to do
it's
it.
totally the fact that I have him to do it with me.
You said
You said it there. In fairness, you and Frank used to fence together before you retired. Now we've had this like 15-year gap of Joe just having me for a few hours when we could get babies here.
Major fencing burst was I was 13 or 14 and Bridie's brother Matt, who watches
yeah.
the YouTube. Hello Matt, Uncle Matt. Myself and Kate spent the summer fencing all the boundaries up with Paddy and our other neighbours and stuff. So
Joe, do you know we have a YouTube channel?
Yeah.
I'm trying to get around to your face and your voice, and the more I get around to you, the more you turn. What was the last bit?
I thought you wanted me to be talking
Like,
natural.
but you have to point at the speaker. Like, I was like, where else was I gonna go? I got around as far as the car. I'm like, I can't actually follow you any further.
Myself and Kate spent the summer, with Uncle Matt, clearing all the boundary ditches up with Paddy and our other neighbours.
Some machines?
Chainsaws and
I think you need to get Matt back.
hand pounders.
Why is this man now?
I don't know, but he
he's
sounds experienced.
He's 80 plus now.
Yeah, 80 years of experience.
You don't know how thick the post is, yeah?
They're straining awfully. Sheep were.
Right.
I'm in Queensland. David is the expert here. He's helping me out getting all the bits for Joe. I'm just back from the ag store. Look at the freezer lambs, and they're getting humongous. Bringing the fencing supplies. I'm back. I was wrong. He's actually using them. I'm glad I did a random purchase buy. I'm a know-it-all. I'm here like 2 minutes. I'm like, lads, I think you're supposed to strain each post differently according to Chogus. I just sent them a video. I'm sure it's going to start around now in a minute if anyone's watching it. Family farms, good times. I'm going to leave Matt before I start a row. I'm going home to get the girls and get dinner made. And we'll catch up with the matrimony.
Getting the wire on is taking us considerably longer than we thought. That was real tricky. Just getting it onto the straining post, I don't know, I have very little memory of it when I was doing it 30 years ago with my uncle, so YouTube some stuff later on this evening. Fiona's been doing a bit, I need to watch it with him, just so we get that, speed that process up a little bit. There's another good day in it. Yeah, we'll be driving a Honda. It's 4:20 on the 5th of July. Fiona's heading up there to get the chainsaw on a few bits that might be affected by the rain. I'm heading for the van now. We're going to whip it up into the yardies to give it a meal into the calves. Been a long day fencing. Ellen has invested in a scraper for the front of the quad. We think it's a good idea. Sorry, the noise of the fan is cooling the milk there. Ellen might be able to block it out. But going to stick in a time lapse there now and give it a go, see if I can get it on. Haven't even opened the box.
Saturday evening, I'm just walking down to Joe in the yard. Honey and the Heifers. Somebody actually said on a video a while ago it sounds like a band. Honey and the Heifers. All heads down grazing. Where's your calf? Honey? There he is.
Only a small start made at getting our scraper on the quad this evening. We have the lift attachment on with a bit of difficulty. There's a permanent plate, this permanent bracket here, plate goes underneath the body of the quad and stays on it. But we have this plastic cover that runs, these two bars run pretty much underneath the whole body of the quad, and this cover is going over them. That plate is to attach to these two bars back in there, the rear of the front wheels. So we need to get the quad up on a height and either just take out a section of the plastic cover or maybe take it all off, cut a section out and put back on. We'll see, late now on Saturday evening, so it's not going to be done now, but some progress made.
They may not have visible lesions. We've already explained in another video how the TB skin and blood tests work. And in this video, I'm going to talk to you about the issue my reactors did not have TB. When the herd goes clear. If your herd has TB, you'll have to have 2 clear tests before you can be de-restricted. But whilst this is the legal minimum, it does not mean that your herd is 100% assured of being TB free. The TB skin test and blood test.
I got these video up on YouTube to watch with Joe. They were very educational and very interesting, gave us lots of food for thought and a kind of a plan of action going forward, what to do anything possible that we can help on our end of things to prevent infection in the rest of the herd and just make a plan and an approach going forward.
Morning everyone, it's Sunday morning, 6th of July. Just about 7:10. Over checking the calves there before we go milking. The cows that are bawling are the 2 ladies that were drafted out with TB, so they're down in the shed below there. They're not impressed, been separated from everybody. But we'll get them up and get them milked now this morning. It's a very cool, damp sort of morning here in West Wicklow. Significant bulling activity in our herd of cows this morning. Drake, you can see him in there, is busy after a couple of ladies. I'll just check my records now when I'm getting the machine ready. I think they're week 8 and week 9 repeats, which is very, very disappointing. Batshit crazy all week with the herd test and everything else going on. Probably will be a knock-on effect, I'd imagine. Anyway, Drake is staying in. He'll pick them up. I'll go on to plan. I just checked my records there while I was getting the machine ready for milking this morning. Yeah, and them 3 cows were all pregnant on the milk test there 2 weeks ago, so that's a sickener. Yeah, repeats in week 8 and week 9, or week 9 as we are now, are just extremely frustrating. You think a cow's well in calf, 1 dairy straw and 2 beef straws. Just fingers crossed that's just a bit of a blip. We tried to keep stress to a minimum there during the TB testing, etc. Cows needed to be dosed for lungworm because there was a significant amount of coughing. That's why we ran them through the crush on Friday evening. That ran off without any major hitches and was super quick, and cows weren't standing around, they were done just coming out of the parlour. I don't think that was particularly stressful. Just marking it down as one of them things. Hopefully it's just a little bit of a blip, but obviously we're going to keep a close eye on that. Panic more if any more of them come bulling. So like I said, Drake is in there now doing his job. Coolish morning, the temperature gauge is reading 14 degrees, but there's a bit of a wind out there. Certainly doesn't feel like 14 degrees. There'll be a significant jump in temperatures I think next week, so that will be welcome, and the weather's to settle down a little bit, so be second cuts all around for a lot of the neighbours. We're getting close enough to ours too, so we'll see how we go on that. Cows are milking well, they're still holding their own, they're doing about 20 litres or so there I think. Butter fat, I might have it here on the docket. Butter fat is 498, protein is 378, we just have to drop it a little bit. Putting that down to a bit of grass quality, and reduction in meal, we'll just keep a close eye on that. They're on to better quality grass there now the last couple of days, so hopefully that'll perk back up. Cell count's 193,000, still getting around to treating them cows. Just been on top of my head there now with everything else, so if we don't get to do that this evening, we'll do it first thing in the morning. Drive it on. Monday morning, the 7th of July, about 10 to 6, cows coming in, watery looking sky. I have my hoodie, well normally with them, but high-vis padded coat on. It is cool this morning, very cool. Busy morning on farm. Kieran is in unloading or emptying the slurry tank in the collecting yard. A couple more bags of meal from Quinn's delivered as well. There's our TB cows. Very, very unsettled and not happy campers that they're isolated from the rest of the herd at all. Constant noise coming from the shed, two of them. And lastly, but most excitingly, our shed has arrived and currently been unloaded up there and stacked over on the site. Clive is to be in some stage this morning to dig them holes and get them full of concrete for the posts, for the pillars. Progress, a bit of progress. As promised, Clive is on site. Oh, progress today, boys. Oscar and fencing Dewey with me today, rolling out the next strand of electric fence wire here along by the road, making good steady progress. Shocking handy little tool. It's nearly there now. Keep going, Oscar. 2 strands of electric wire running along by the main road. We have a secure boundary fence behind. The sheep wire and barbed wire that's in the hedge goes all the way over to the corner. There's Rosie over by the quad, and then 2 strands going up by the laneway into the farm. So the last section is to be completed now to get the sheep wire on this piece here, and we're almost done. Base is going in for pillars. Great bit of progress today. Evening everyone, afternoon everyone. It's just 4 o'clock here now, Monday afternoon. Busy all day today. We're loads of progress been made. Yeah, delighted with that. So just one length of sheep wire now tomorrow. Hopefully we'll get that done early. We get some calves out tomorrow afternoon. Holes dug for the pillars, concrete currently going into them there now, which is deadly. Getting that sorted out, brilliant. I'm so happy with that. Anthony dropped the main shed, the main cubicle house shed. I think he's coming back with the calf shed. I was expecting someone this afternoon, maybe in the morning now, so that'll be brilliant to have all the sheds here. Yeah, so progress has really been started rock on that, so delighted. Oh yes, contact from the department. Phone call from the head valuer guy in the Department of Agriculture. So when you have cows down with TB, it kickstarts a process that them cows obviously have to be culled out of your herd, and part of that process is that they get valued. We make record our cows, which is a major advantage in determining their worth. So got a phone call from the head valuer. He went through a list of local valuers that sublet the department and come out and value people's stock in the area. We have Owen Lawler. He's an auctioneer over there in Leinster Livestock Marts in Chores Owen. And he actually rang me when I was getting into cows there with Oscar. So he ran out of petrol, so I had to run up and get some petrol into the quad for him. So yeah, Owen is going to call this evening. We won't be here. First round of the minor championship will be 7 Fionn, so super excited about that. Going to go and give it a lash. We don't really need to be here. Owen is coming to 2 cows in the shed. He's going to have a look at them, and he'll have our ICBF information on them cows by tomorrow. He'll determine an evaluation. If we're happy with it, we'll accept it. If not, we can appeal it and get another evaluation from a different valuer. I think that's the way the process goes. So I'm expecting a pack, possibly has landed today. Check the post later on now and see if that an information pack on what's going on. Yeah, so that's a bit of progress. If get the cows valued today or have a valuation for them tomorrow evening, there's a very good chance that they will be gone by Friday. Yeah, we just need them shifted now and gone, so we can kickstart the process of when we're going to test again and get the ball rolling on that, and hopefully keep making progress towards having clear tests and being clear of TB.
Just over 3% of herds in Ireland will go down with TB in any given year.
So we're going to get these cows milked now, and then all roads to Knockanana for championship. Woo! Today's progress. Bases for the pillars are in. All the way into the far side of the tank. And over. Zoom in there, we can see. And all leveled off. All level off the level of the tank, the slats on top of the tank. And then the last row. Yeah, super bit of progress. And then these are the runners. These are the purlines. Instead of timber purlines, we're going for these galvanized beams. Just last a lot longer for the shed. And this is part of the shed. Not sure, there obviously rafters, pillars for the roof. And then we zoom in back over here beside the quad. I think these first lads here are probably the uprights that are going to go on top of our bases. So happy to see that here. So happy to see them here. Yes, just fantastic. Oh, bit of progress. Delighted.